All right, let's dive into another exciting match. We're breaking down a WPL clash that had more twists and turns than, well, a really twisty thing.
Aha, I like that.
We've got highlights and some great commentary to dig into from the fourth match of the WPL 2025.
It's the Delhi Capitals women versus the Royal Challengers Bangalore women,
A rematch of last year's finalists.
and a crucial game for both sides, hoping to gain an early advantage in the tournament.
Both coming off wins in their opening matches.
Exactly. So the stakes were definitely high for this one.
And you know what adds another layer of intrigue to this match?
What's that?
Delhi Capitals have historically dominated RCB.
Yeah, going into this match, they had a 4-1 win record.
But there's a but, right?
There is that one loss for Delhi. Well, it was the one that mattered most. It was a championship match last season.
So there's a bit of a revenge factor in play here.
Absolutely. You can just imagine the tension on the field.
Now, let's factor in something else that was playing a big role in the tournament so far.
The dew.
Yep, the do factor. It's been making it easier to bat under lights in the second innings.
So when RCB won the toss and chose to field first, it was a strategic move.
Hoping to restrict Delhi's scoring.
And then capitalize on that dew later in the evening.
And deliver. So they're playing the long game here. Before we jump into the action, what about the pitch report? Any insights there that might give us clues about how things unfolded?
Well, the report indicated a hard and skiddy surface, potentially offering some turn for the spinners later in the match.
Interesting. So both teams had to think carefully about their bowling strategies.
For sure.
All right, let's talk about the Delhi Capitals innings. They got off to a flying start, didn't they?
Oh, they came out swinging. And Mima Rodriguez was particularly impressive.
She's such a talented batter.
Scored a quick 34 runs.
Wow.
And get this, their power play score. 55 for the loss of just one wicket.
55 for 1 in the power play. That's a serious statement of intent.
Absolutely. It was the highest power play score of the season so far.
So they were setting the pace early on.
Made it look like they were going to run away with it.
Did RCB panic at this point?
Not at all. What we saw next was a fantastic display of strategic bowling and adaptability.
Oh, how so?
They brought on their spinners to try and exploit that turn the pitch was offering.
The spinners, Wareham and Bisht, right?
Yeah, and they really delivered.
Were they able to slow down Delhi's scoring?
Exactly. They managed to put the brakes on the run rate and pick up some crucial wickets.
Which really shifted the momentum back in RCB's favor.
Big time. This is where the match took a dramatic turn. And this is where Renuka Singh enters the picture.
I was just about to bring her up. She had an absolute blinder of a match.
She was incredible, just unplayable at times.
What was it about her bowling that was so effective? Did she have some new tricks up her sleeve?
Well, she was bowling at higher speeds than we've seen from her before.
So the extra pace made her deliveries that much harder to hit.
Right. And she was smart about it, too. Mixing up her deliveries, keeping the Delhi batters guessing, slower balls, cutters, yorkers, you name it.
Sounds like she really did her homework on the Delhi batters. How did they handle this sudden shift in momentum?
It's safe to say they struggled. Jemima Rodriguez's wicket was a turning point.
She was looking so dangerous at the crease.
Wareham's leg spin got the better of her.
And that triggered a bit of a collapse, right?
It did. Delhi went from a comfortable 60 for 1 to a shaky 105 for 6.
Talk about a turnaround. So Renuka Singh and the spinners really flipped the script on Delhi. What was their final score after that middle order wobble?
They managed to recover slightly towards the end of their innings, thanks to Sarah Bryce and Shika Pandey.
Ended up with a respectable total, though.
They did finish on 141, but considering their explosive start, it felt like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, after that power play, they had their sights set much higher.
Definitely.
So 142 to win for RCB. Not an impossible target, but enough to make things interesting, especially with the pressure of a big match. How did their chase unfold?
Well, RCB's chase was just phenomenal. It was like they went into overdrive. They didn't just chase down the target. They just blew past it. The opening partnership between Smriti Mantana and Danielle Wyatt-Hodge was pure batting power. It felt like every over there was at least one boundary.
Oh, I bet the crowd was loving that.
Absolutely. This was more than just a chase. It was a statement. Especially Mantana.
She was on fire.
She was playing with something to prove after getting out early against Gujarat.
Yeah, what was it against Gujarat? A pretty early dismissal, if I recall correctly.
She got out to off-spin, and this time she was super aggressive against it. It was like she was saying, not this time.
So she turned her weakness into a strength.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the difference between good players and the greats, right? Being able to learn from mistakes and come back stronger.
You know what else is impressive? She wasn't just hitting blindly. She was picking her shots. finding the gaps.
Mm.
And any loose ball, she dispatched it to the boundary.
Yeah, great placement. And let's not forget Danielle Wyatt-Hodge. She played a crucial supporting role.
Oh, yeah, she was fantastic.
The perfect foil to Manhana's aggression. Kept the scoreboard ticking over, rotated the strike, and when there was a bad ball, she punished it. It was a symphony of controlled aggression, really.
I love that description. You're really painting a picture here.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this record-breaking partnership. What was it about this one that made it so special?
Well, a couple things. One, it was just incredible how well they understood each other's game. There was great communication running between the wickets, and it felt like they knew exactly what the other was thinking, like they were operating as a single unit.
Yeah, that kind of synergy is something special to see.
It really is. And to add to all of that, their 107-run partnership actually set a new WPL record. It was the highest for any wicket for RCB against DCW. And not just against DCW, the highest against any team in the history of the WPL.
Whoa. So they didn't just have a great partnership, they rewrote the history books.
It was history in the making. This match, it was a turning point for both teams. For RCB, it was like a declaration. They're here to dominate.
And for Delhi.
It was a bit of a wake-up call. They started so strong, but they just kind of crumbled under pressure.
So what does this mean for RCB in the bigger picture of the tournament?
Well, this win puts them right at the top of the table, and they are playing with a level of confidence and swagger that you just don't see very often.
The big question is, can they defend their title?
They are looking like the favorites. They've got the batting lineup, the bowling attack, and they're fielding sharply. But the tournament is a marathon, not a sprint, and there's still a lot of cricket left to be played.
Okay, so for now, they're in a great position. But you mentioned challenges earlier. What are some potential hurdles that they might face as the tournament goes on?
Yeah, for sure. They're not without their weaknesses. One area that I'm kind of keeping an eye on is their middle order.
Oh, interesting.
They haven't really been tested yet because, Manhana and Wyatt-Hodge have been so dominant. But you know what happens if those two have an off day. Can players like Elise Perry and Richard Ghosh step up and deliver when it matters most?
Okay, so a potential weakness in their middle order depth. Anything else you're a little bit concerned about?
Well, I do wonder if they might be relying a little too heavily on Renuka Singh's bowling. I mean, she's been absolutely brilliant.
She's been on fire.
But what if she gets injured or, has a couple of bad games? RCB needs to make sure that they've got other bowlers who can step up and take on the responsibility if she's not at her best.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Spread the responsibility. Don't put too much pressure on one player. I mean, cricket is a team sport.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the other teams in the WPL. It's a really competitive tournament. Every team has some serious talent, and anyone can pull off an upset on their day.
You're right. Delhi Capitals, they might have lost this match, but they're still a very strong team.
Yeah.
And you've got Mumbai Indians and the Gujarat Giants, who are all contenders as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. For RCB to defend their title, they're going to have to bring their A game week after week.
And that's what makes the WPL so great. It's so unpredictable, any team can win.
I know, it's why we love it. And for RCB, this journey to defend their championship, it's going to be fascinating to watch. Will they be able to keep up this momentum? Can their middle order rise to the occasion? Can their bowling attack continue to fire, even if Renuka Singh, has an off day? So many questions that we'll get answers to as the tournament unfolds.
Well, I know I'm hooked, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. This match has definitely set the stage for a really exciting WPL season.
So there you have it, a deep dive into a match that was full of drama, individual brilliance, and some really clever strategy.
We looked at the key moments, the turning points, and what it all means for both teams going forward.
We went beyond the scoreboard to really understand what happened in this match.
But as we know with the WPL, the story's never over.
Every match brings something new heroes, new twists.
So if you want to experience all the drama and excitement of this incredible tournament, make sure you keep following the WPL 2025.
You won't regret it. It's cricket at its best.
Absolutely. And remember, the real beauty of cricket lies in the unexpected. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive into the amazing world of cricket.